the show last night.
You ain't got to lie. 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 You ain't got to lie.
Good Avenue Podcast, episode 15. We're here, we're live. What's happening, fellas?
Yeah, what's up? Let's
We got my man Tunes RSA in the building.
Baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Mr. International Kipiza.
Talk about it.
Yes, sir. Hollywood boy.
Hollywood. Where do you get these things?
But I'm Hollywood, dog.
Hollywood,
dog.
No, I always say, like, since we started working, right? People should watch out for this dude. Yeah. Like, his energy, bro, is just like electric.
It's Hollywood.
Yeah? I love it. And then we've got a special guest, right? And I think this dude is special right here. You know, not just to me, but I think like to South Africa. Like, we need to treasure guys like him. So we got my man Marly in the building. He's an interior designer.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the best, and I'm not just saying this.
Yeah.
One of the best black designers in South Africa, bro. Like, his work is amazing. So he's graced us on the show. What's happening, my dude?
Bro, that intro just put me on. I won't lie. Okay, cool. So above that, I'm also a product designer. Do furniture.
Right.
Dope as hell. I'm not claiming. Check it out.
The work speaks for itself.
Listen, well, it's fine. We'll do everything. You'll get it.
Listen, we're just going to put the title down there. You're going to check out his work. You know, just follow him. You know what I mean? Like, his work speaks for itself. And I thought it would be great to just have a conversation around being an entrepreneur, black entrepreneur in the business. We're going to talk about other things outside of that. Yeah. Because he's my mate. Like, me and him, like, we go way back, dog. Like, he knows where all the skeletons are buried, basically.
I thought they weren't any skeletons, eh?
Yo, nah.
We all have skeletons, gents. Relax. But he's one of my day ones, man. It's just amazing to see what he's done with his life, and you know, it's important for us, I think, just as black people and just like the youth, you know what I mean, to like empower each other. Yeah. You know what I mean, like. I like what he's been doing with his crew in Soweto, where they're doing something that's progressive, that's productive with their time, their music, you know what I mean, their production, all of that, and we need more of that. You know what I mean? And with me and you, like, we know where we've come from, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so to see ourselves in these spaces is amazing, and it's about uplifting each other. So today's show is going to be a bit different, right? And I'll just say the theme, because we typically just jump right in, but I think it's important to just mention the theme of this episode, right? That we're talking about how soon is too soon in general. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can apply it to your life. You know what I mean? Like,
TC.
How soon is too soon for whatever? Yeah. Put your comments. Let's get the conversation going, because that's what we do here. We drive the conversation. So we're talking about how soon is too soon about a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
And before we even go there, we just want to shout out to our audience, people that have been subscribing, people that have been following and watching our content. Last episode was amazing. Right?
I flew there.
Is it just me, Jeff?
I flew. That episode was fire.
Nah, that was fire, bro.
I'm gonna do the
Yeah.
So, like, it's important to just shout out to our audience. You know, subscribe. We're gonna keep the conversation going. Now, there's something I wanted to just highlight, because I think we don't do this enough when with platforms like this, right? Yeah. Which was the conversation about Nota and Cassper last week, where we were talking about their relationship and whatever. And I think it's important to highlight that. Apparently they patched things up. Right? Apparently they patched things up. He was gonna come out on Cotton Fest.
Really?
Yeah, apparently he was gonna come up on Cotton Fest, and
are they lying, though? Why now?
What do you mean why now?
Why no?
The man was coming up. That's what we know.
It's lying, dog.
So, you know what? I would say, for the sake of, respecting, Ricky's legacy as well. Like, we don't know what happened, but whatever that happened, we're hoping that it's a positive thing. You know what I mean? That's what we're trying to focus on. You know what I mean?
That's what I was trying to highlight, because I'm thinking, like, we always put a lot of attention on negative stuff and publicity, but I think it's important to also paint the other side of it and be factual. If people patch things up, that's a good thing, and that's something worth noting. I don't think we do that enough.
Yeah.
You know, in these conversations. Haven't you seen, like, Q, you can even attest to this. Haven't you seen, like, on TV, in the news, like, when there's something negative that's been pushed, right? It gets a lot of attention, but media never comes back to correct themselves.
In fact, it's like negative news is the only news that you have out there.
No, it's not even.
And one of the things that you usually get is that when you have something positive or you have a retraction, it's on page 3 and it's in the corner.
Yes.
But the negative news is headline news and it's on page 1.
Yeah.
That's life.
Right.
That's life in general. That's life in general. Whatever you do that's good is gonna be hey. But the bad thing, week after week,
Fact.
hey,
Gonna be
nice all over then. Hey, last week you did this, last week you did that. So it's life, guys.
Isn't it because everyone is always looking forward for someone else's downfall?
No, dog.
I think it is. You listen. You know,
You can't really spread. You can't really spread good news like that. Like good news, they excite you for 2 minutes, but like bad stuff is like, how did that happen?
No, facts, I get it. And you're right. But what I'm saying is, what we're trying to do is address that, right? Where we're saying, as much as we point out negative publicity, let's also point out the right things that are being corrected and addressed, right?
That's right.
So in this case, we're talking about the Cassper and Ricky thing, where it's like, last week we were saying, of course, like I was personally concerned based on what I already knew and what was in the public, right? To say, oh, okay, they were not on the best of terms. So, you know, that was a bit concerning to say, wish things were different. But if they actually did work on it and they were trying to, you know, come out together on Cotton Fest, I think that's a dope thing to point out. And that's what we need to encourage a lot of young people as well. Like, it's okay to patch things up. It's okay to...
That's true.
You know what I mean? And it ties down to what we're talking about. How soon is too soon? Where we're saying, like, you know, are you going to take forever to patch things up? Because you never know, like,
But then,
what could happen.
why must their patching up be especially venti? It must come out at Cotton Fest. It must be smooth and painted with
It's
all
called
this.
marketing,
Why
my
did
man.
it?
Bro.
But why does it have to fall for cap? Why do you have to capitalize on you guys?
We
patching
capitalize on
things
the
up?
drama.
All right.
Exactly.
On that,
Why,
on that,
though?
gents, right? I need to also make you aware, right? There's things that happen behind of what we see, right? Like, don't just ride on what you're seeing up front. You don't know what those guys were speaking about. You don't even know if they had coffee. You don't even know that kind of information. So
Right.
I think that as the people that are consuming whatever that's in public, we should really reserve our way of being too opinionated about it, because you never know. You
never
don't
know.
know what it is. But what's good is, it's good.
It's
We
good
don't
that they're
know
passionate. And we're not
whatever.
going to...
Patch it up. Ricky died.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, but that's what I'm saying. Where we're saying, like, how soon is too soon, and it's like, you know, life is short, man. You never know, like, how much time people are on this earth, and whatever beef is there, right? It's like, is it worth it? In some cases, you look and say, like, is it really worth losing the time and relationship we could have had beefing? So we're not gonna stick on that too much. But yeah, can you understand?
I want to say, actually, that's why we got to ask ourselves, how soon is too soon?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to wait, how do you know what's going to happen next?
Right.
You don't know.
Dope.
No one is guaranteed
Dope,
tomorrow.
bro.
Fact.
You're not even guaranteed sunset
Yeah.
today. So
Yeah.
you
know
got
what I
to
mean?
try and fix things as quickly
Yeah.
as possible.
Exactly. And I always, this is something like, you know, with, you know, the women I've had the privilege of, like, interacting with, right? Like, I always say, like, you know, I always say, like, you know, I want to be happy, right?
Yeah.
That's the most important thing to me. So, like, even if we're beefing or if there's something that happened, right? Like, are we going to drag the beef out just for the sake of dragging it? Or, like, let's rather be happy. Like, let's address it and move. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like beef that takes, like, days and, like, weeks and, like, to patch things up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to be happy, fam. Like, yes, I might have wronged you.
Yeah.
Let's address it. I'm acknowledging it, right?
Yeah.
But let's move.
Bro.
If we're moving, let's move. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, just to wrap that part up, it's like, shout out to Cassper for addressing that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good thing that they patched things up. And to the Mercado family, like, condolences, because I think we didn't mention that in the last episode, but it's important to just mention that. You know, and we gotta respect their privacy and all of that. Now, the way it gets interesting is this. Now,
How
right?
soon is too soon?
How soon is too soon, gents?
Too
With
soon,
other things
Too soon.
in these streets, like these relationship streets, right? Like, how soon is too soon when we're talking about in relationships, right? I mean, there was something that was in the news, I think it was last week. around the AKA Nadia Nakai thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, respectfully, and the thing is, it's in the news. We can talk about it, right? So, respectfully, like, because I think there are lessons to take from there. So, we already know what happened with AKA,
Yeah.
right? We already know who Nadia Nakai is. She's a female rapper in the industry, right?
You know which camp she was with at some point.
Raga, raga, raga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite joints. Now, how soon is too soon in that scenario when you're looking at like moving on? Because the general perception is that men move on quicker than women, right? And it's like, you know, in your opinion, should we actually have an opinion on that situation? Because people are saying like, dude, like you're just grieving a few months ago. Mm-hmm. Now, you know what I'm saying? Now we're seeing you with this prominent lady in the industry. Mm-hmm. Does it, you know, is it too soon? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Did he need arms to comfort him, maybe?
Right? Like,
Yeah.
is it too soon? You know what I'm saying? In our opinion, again, right? It's like, we're just talking about it. Like, in those kind of scenarios, or generally, like, let's say you've lost your loved one, right? Your partner. And, you know, because it's not even a year, right?
Yeah.
Since the incident. And you look
Yeah.
and you say, is it soon?
To hop in on that.
To hop into another prominent situation as well.
Not.
Because it's a celebrity relationship, right?
Yeah. I just want to say something very unpopular. Niggas don't necessarily move on, right? Most of the time. They avoid a situation. Like men never really give them times to kind of like deal with anything.
Right.
Because there isn't really enough, for lack of a better address, like there isn't enough platform for men to pretty much explore the pain they feel or explore any sort of this is what's bothering me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because
right.
you know the perception. As soon as you start to open up and say, listen, I feel like this thing is bothering me. You know, everyone else these
You're so
days.
sensitive.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? So
Choice.
you know, the first thing you're gonna probably do is to hop on anything that numbs your pain. And it's different for everyone else, right? Like,
So it can be a human being.
it can be a human being. You get what I'm saying? It can be a human being. It can be anything. It could be anything that can, you know,
numb the pain. But and I like that you raised that, because I was actually talking to a lady about this on Friday.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm saying, like, for me, just taps into the rebound situation. And we're not saying that's what that is, right? But we're just saying, like,
Derek, you must just talk.
no, but I'm saying, like, we're just talking
Don't
generic.
feel for Joe. If somebody's hurt and is offended, that's their problem, bro. We had to talk. We had to push these conversations, bro.
Right. So, like, it kind of speaks to the rebound conversation, right? Where it's like, does that look like a rebound situation?
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
But who
Or
are
do you
we to
think-
speak on
And
that,
that's
bro?
what I'm saying. Like,
I just
for
think-
me, it's like a generic conversation, because who are we to speak about that specifically?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, how soon is too soon generally when you've gone through something as traumatic as that? And and remember, this is not just dating. Like, he was engaged to this woman, right? So it was something that was serious.
Family. It was family.
Yeah, there was family involved. There's all of that, right? So, do we think it's too soon? Like, do we think, like...
It's not, bro. Love is love, dude. I think I'm just like AK. I think AK is just like me, because when I love, dude, like when I love a chick, bro, there's no too soon. It's the right time to meet my parents. It's the right time. It's not the right time to meet your mom. Hey, me, if I want to take you to my family, I'll take you to my family now. Even if we started dating yesterday, I'll tell them straight. Yeah, I know it's my girlfriend started dating yesterday. Oh, she's a really nice girl.
But and that's one way to look at it. But there are also some families that are very conservative, right? Let's be honest.
That's
where
your
it's
problem.
like, we don't want to see your boyfriend.
Yeah.
We only want to see your husband to be and whatever.
How will they know it's the husband to be? Then I bring the guy who's there. Ideal, my husband to be,
alright.
and then they start hurting me or start hurting that person. You understand?
Yeah.
So the family could never judge your partner, bro. If your partner's gonna f you up or mess you up, then there's a lesson, dog.
Yeah.
You have to take
That's
it,
why.
dog. You gotta take it.
Okay. I think the address of soon to move on to something, it's really going to depend on the trauma you felt on something, right? Like I said previously when I was saying, it's like, have you dealt with that particular situation which probably potentially brought trauma into your life?
And that's the conversation.
You get what I'm
actually, I
saying?
think.
So it's like, you can't just say like, I'm gonna move on. You know what I mean? Obviously, from an outside perspective, we might think whatever that we want to think, but we don't know how well have you explored the situation previously, prior to whatever accidents or whatever that happened at the time, right?
Right.
But it's really, really addressed by the trauma, right? The sooner to move on, because eventually, if it doesn't come out at that time, it may come out, you know, later. You get what I'm saying? So it's like we can't really put a timeline on how to move on to things or how to deal with specific things. It's just about how, you know what I mean? With what you just said, bro, like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, you're gonna do whatever that you want to do.
Right.
But have you taken the time to think about it?
Do you have to think about it?
You have to, dog. Think about this. Because for me, like, it's not even about the AKA situation.
Yeah.
It's not even about, who are we to decide who's on when, right?
Yeah.
It's more about, have you addressed, like you're saying, the trauma that you had to deal with, or that you just came out of?
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, as gents, do we generally give ourselves time to deal with it?
No. Bro, you don't need time to deal with it.
Hell no.
The more time you give yourself to deal with it, is the more you get hurt.
No.
If it happens that you are out of whatever relationship or somebody f you up and backstabbed you and you are hurt, my guy, move on, my guy. There's so much. You know what I do.
That's that toxic masculinity.
No,
kid.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You know
Because
what
it
I mean?
works. It works.
Like, screw it.
It works, dog. It works, dog. Like, it's a choice. If you want to sulk and want people to feel sorry for you, it's gonna happen for as much as you allow it to. But if you tell yourself, dog, that nah, I'm fine, and then you go and live your life, bro. There's so many things. Like me, I feel like if somebody backstabs me or hurts me, that exact moment is where the other door opens. You know? Because we get too stuck on the trauma. We hold on to the trauma and we let it control our lives. Have you ever seen how many people are controlled by trauma, dog? It's like, okay, Sharp, you've been crashed by a car. Now you're afraid to jump a street. What are you going to do in life? Are you going to go around asking people, please check if there's a car so I can come and
Okay, but let me ask you this, Chins, eh? Like, don't you think relationships, like, or a relationship not working out, right, has some kind of impact or change it does to you?
Nah.
And how you look at relationships in general or women in general?
Nope.
I think it does, bro.
I have
think
to
it
say-
does big time.
Yeah, it does. That's how you grow, right? What you learn from the previous thing. Like whatever you experienced, it pushes you forward. Maybe it could stagnate you, but usually it pushes you forward. Because that experience is what informs how you move next. If you were cheated on before, you become a little bit more nihilistic, a little bit more careful, a little bit. You know what I mean? And it's not that you don't believe in love anymore, but now you move with your heart, not so much on your sleeve.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's what grows you. So same way, you're allowed to react. If the trauma hits you, if a breakup is bad for you, if someone's death is bad for you,
Right.
why would you rob yourself the healing process because you feel that I don't have to act like this hurt me?
No, the thing is, you have to. Me, dog, with Ricky, I cried.
Right.
I cried, dog, and I cried the next day because before they told me, they prayed for me. You know, like because they knew how it was gonna affect me. Plus, I was with industry giants. I was with Amu, Mr. Salvin. I was with Omen the chef. So these guys are like big giants, you know.
Right.
So before they told me, they prayed for me. So it, it could actually make me strong. And they told me, dude, I didn't cry. I was like, wow, okay, I was shocked like everybody. But the next day, dude, especially when I listened to that, you and I till the day we die, baby. Bro, I cried, dog.
But you see what I'm saying?
But the next day, I was fine. The next day.
No, but
I told myself, I'm going to do what Ricky didn't do.
No, but that's fact.
That's your healing process. It's 24
what I'm
hours.
saying. Me, I'm telling people to go the way I'm going because it works, bro.
For you.
But
It's gonna work for you if you do it the way I do it.
You know what's the beauty about your perspective?
Yeah.
Right? Is that it needs to rise in contrast to everyone else's, right? But the one thing that might be a mistake is when you think that everyone else has to feel that way.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Everyone's
So
process
let
is
me
different.
say something else that I was thinking. That if everyone dealt with things the same way,
Right.
we wouldn't have these broad spectrums of feelings, right?
Yeah.
Somebody might deal with something the way you're dealing with it, and then 4 days later we hear news that guy hung himself. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when it comes to specific traumas, we need to come into it and how our body allows it and our mind allows it. You can't just show up and say,
In other words, it's subjective.
you know what I mean?
Subjective.
Because you
Subjective. I think
dealt
I'm
with
just
it that way.
insensitive. I'm really
No,
insensitive.
but
I
that's the
feel
point.
you,
But that's
dude.
the point. And you know what? I'm glad you said that. You know, because this is something that as men we are taught to. This is how we deal with disappointment, with hurt, and breakups or whatever. Right? That toughen it up. Don't move on. Dog. Like, yeah, this is one girl. There's 100 other girls out there,
Fish
right?
in the sea type.
Fish in the sea. But it doesn't address the hurt that we actually really feel. Because the truth of the matter is, like, I like the fact that you brought up the Ricky thing, right? That you were hurt,
Can you please?
right?
Yeah, sure.
Like you was hurt for real, right? And you had to give yourself time to deal with that, and whether it was 24 hours, whatever. But it hurt you. Now, if you really love your girl in the same way, if she breaks up with you, she's gonna hurt you.
That's too true, dog.
You see what I'm saying? You can't toughen it up and be like, I don't care, she doesn't matter, on to the next. If you really love that girl, bro, you're gonna cry or you're gonna get hurt.
For 2 days. That day I'm fine. That day I'm fine.
You know what?
She's
I'll tell
gone,
you.
Moss.
I'll tell you. Okay, this is death, I suppose. But when we're speaking of, let's say, a breakup,
Yeah.
I think there are other dynamics that come into play. How did the relationship end? What was the toxicity of the relationship? You've heard that situation where they say a woman will have moved on from you before she breaks up with you.
True. Right.
So by the time she's breaking up, she's not going to go through the trauma you go through. It's not that you don't go through trauma as quickly as she does. It's that she dealt with it but gave you a front that was clean.
Yeah.
And pride wouldn't let her come off as if she's dependent on you, as if you've hurt her. She
Right.
had to hold that in. Then when she was over you and maybe she's now deep into it with some other guy, she then tells you it's over with.
That's life, my man. My
It is
man.
life.
Take it with a pinch of salt, my man. It happens to everybody, my man. You are part of life.
you know-
That's how you know you are living.
Wait.
Q just made me think about something,
Yeah.
right? Q, you just made me think about something that's crazy,
What?
crazy, right? You know that whole thing of saying a woman would break up with you before you know it? You just made me think about that.
You
You just made me think about, listen,
No, that shit happens, bro.
listen, you just made me think about that, how deep that crazy thing is. I don't know, there's a woman in here, she might beg to differ.
She's backing it up right
But
now.
listen, a woman would literally break up with you right away.
Yeah.
But now look at all your actions as time goes. Whether you might redeem yourself, but she already made her decision a long time ago about you. So when you speak on the topic of how soon it is to move on, by the time we think that she's moving on, it's
the
been
train
gone.
has moved,
She's
dog, a
been
long
gone,
time.
bro. She's been gone. You just made me think about that, bro, and that's crazy.
And then it doesn't matter what you do.
It,
Right.
It's over with.
yeah.
You take the cake, you eat it up until you are done. You share it with your friends.
You know, you,
That's how you going
Okay,
to
I don't
heal.
know if we need to hear.
don't
Maybe
know.
we should hear Sina's opinion on this. I
Sina,
don't
did you
know.
want to go to
do you
the
wanna
mic? Go to the
write on
mic.
it?
What do you want to say about
sure.
Share it with your friends.
Okay, so truth of the matter is, it does happen. I won't mention names. I won't say much.
Right.
But there was one situation where a few months before it ended, I knew it was done because of all the toxic things that were
Going on.
happening.
Right.
Yeah.
By the time it was done, I didn't even care.
Did you show
And
signs
while-
of you going to dump? Oh, he's still nice. Like, we're still like a perfect girlfriend.
Good
Let me
pretenders,
tell
these
you
ones.
what women do. I'm sorry, ladies.
Tell us, yes, tell
But
us.
this is what we do.
Please don't kill her for this.
We don't shout.
Okay.
Don't chase you.
No chase.
Whatever
no
you
shots.
do, whatever you say, it goes.
Goes?
We literally don't care.
Don't care.
We don't give a damn.
Oh, don't give it that.
Right.
You could not talk to me for 10 days. I don't care.
Have you noticed though that
And once you get to that point,
that happens?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
once you get to that point, it's over for you. Nothing
mean,
you
I'll-
do, nothing you say.
Cool change.
I
we'll change
promise
that.
you can bring me whatever.
Flowers.
It does not
everything,
matter.
nothing.
We're done. It's just, and you know what the saddest part is? You'll think you're forgiven for all the worst things that you would have done. I promise you. Don't talk to me for one day. We're done for the rest of my life.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
It's a tough one.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's crazy.
But it's life, gents.
but
It's not life.
There's plenty of fish in the sea. Me, that's what.
you see, that's when that masculine thing comes in.
Plenty of fish in the sea.
You know-
Why am I saying now?
You know
Why
what,
am I saying
Ken?
now? Hey.
You know what K reminds me of?
Yeah.
It reminds me of the reason why we are where we are mentally as men. You get what I'm saying? Like, the reason why, bro, that even in the slightest moment where you really want to speak about how you feel, people will be like, okay, we hear you. And then 2 hours later, everyone moved on.
But at least you got it out.
You know why? This is the reason why you remind me of that, because it gives a perception that we're okay when we're not. You get it? And that thing is what's killing us, bro. Because how do you get to know it's killing us? By literally when we're under a grave. That stuff was killing us. You get what I'm saying? Because there's a point where this thing, it doesn't work for you anymore, dude. You explode. And by the time you want to explode, you haven't created platform for you to explode on.
Right.
Now what you're gonna do? Explode on yourself. And it ends up really bad, bro.
In a nutshell, what I think we need to pick from this, right?
Yeah.
Is one, that the issue around how soon it is to move on is about, have you dealt with the trauma? Don't suppress it, right? Because what we as men generally are taught to do, and amongst ourselves, right, is, dude, move on. There's other fish in the sea. And it works for a little time, right? But you are human,
long run.
right? In the long run, and any relationship you have is dealing with what you've dealt with before, what you haven't dealt with before, right? That's where you find people venting. That's where you find trust issues. That's where you find, side chicks. That's where you find, because you're not dealing with a chapter and an issue.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because you left the situation because of an issue and other things that probably you need to address before you jump on. And I don't think it's a guy's thing generally as well. It's women do that sometimes as well.
It's a human thing,
right? And we need to get to a point where we address those things before we move on. That can take you 24 hours. That can take you a month.
2 years.
2 years, right? Dude, like, I know people who've been divorced, bro, like, and they're single for like
Forever.
Yeah.
You know, when you're talking about that, sorry, you just reminding me of like one of the natural questions that comes from a woman having broken up with you without breaking up with you.
Yeah.
We say men don't communicate. But in this instance, who's not communicating in the last
Good
few months?
question.
And I suppose that's a question for maybe another day. We could throw that in as a topic.
Right.
But that's something we really need to think about. In terms of communication, what is happening in that dynamic?
Yeah.
Ladies, those that have ears have heard, okay? Because that's a very valid point. Women say they're great at communicating,
Well.
but they dump us before they've communicated.
Also, how do you communicate with somebody say, I'm okay?
Fine.
How do you? Is that
That's communication. Then she says there's
and then
no
when you're like,
communication.
okay, you're okay, I'm taking you. It's like, after we've settled the dust, it's like, you know what? I don't like how you... Like, listen, there was a mental stage to address that thing.
Right.
Okay, I wanted to say something, gents,
Yeah.
right? The moving on or how soon is.
Yeah.
How do you get to realize that state of mind if you have not taken care of yourself? Because if you take care of yourself, essentially you would know what is it that is needed to put you in a state of ease.
That's the thing, though. That's what I'm trying to say, bro. Take care of yourself.
No. Taking care of yourself doesn't mean that you have to be selfish, bro.
No, it's not about being selfish.
What is
It's
it
about understanding that your happiness
Comes first.
Comes first, nigga.
That's true.
That is
Nigga,
true.
but you need to know, dog, is that at the end of the day, even if you hurt the chick, nah?
Yeah.
Let's just say you hurt the chick and she breaks up with you. Bro, come on. It's a lesson to learn. Never hurt another chick again. And if it does happen that you don't hurt another chick and they hurt you still, then you learn that it doesn't really matter.
But Q, we're aligned there, and I agree with you 100%, because that's also another side of it, right? Which is, as much as you're committing to somebody in a relationship or whatever, né? It's important to check in with yourself.
True, because it's very easy to forget yourself.
Exactly.
Very easy.
And I think that's the whole point, which is that time of taking time to heal, right? It's not about the other person. It's about you.
Yeah.
It's not about, she did this, she did that. It's about, how am I feeling? How do I need to pick up the pieces so that whenever I move again, I'm good. I know who I am. I know my worth. I can actually add to a situation and not take from it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you need time to do that. It can take you 24 hours. Cool, right? You're young. You're out here. Boom. But you still need to give yourself that time to assess. Because what you don't want is to carry baggage into other situations. And we've all seen that enough, dog. Like, where it's just like, whether it's you or it's the other person on the other table, where they're just bringing drama from exes.
It's not even about enough anymore. It's not even about enough anymore. We are a living testament of that kind of behavior.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's not even about, we've seen that enough. No. Every time you don't deal with your trauma, you're taking it to your next state of life.
In general.
Yeah, because
whatever it is.
As Q said earlier on, it's a click, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it reminds you of what you don't want to deal with anymore.
Right.
And instantly, your reaction is not going to be like, I need a solution. Your reaction is going to be like, I need to explode on that thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're already addressing the problem, but you're not really coming up with a solution.
You know what you need, bro? You need to get yourself friends like mine. Trust me, let me finish off.
Let me hear this.
Bro, you go to your friends with the problem. Like, go to my friends with tell them, like, the nice thing about my friends and I, Spooda and Jade, is that
Antoine.
I go to them. Keep these.
You know what K reminds me of? Remember that time when we were wilding out?
I want to tell you something about my friends.
No. You remind me of. D will tell you what kind of person I was in varsity, bro, and especially in our last years of varsity, right?
Yeah,
I was crazy, bro. I didn't care.
Guy,
I'm the dude that literally made these guys do bad things. I'm that guy. You get what I'm saying? And let me tell you, it comes a point in your life where there's a total reflection of how you live your life.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Especially when you get on your 30s. You guys just like, yo, ask this guy.
I need to talking to a guy like you here. You know what I'm saying? So I know what I'm talking about. I was also that guy.
You get what I'm saying?
Don't hang with that guy.
Yeah, no. My point is, I didn't deal with any kind of trauma like that. I told the chance, like, let's hook up, get another girl. The next girl. That was the.
But you know, sometimes it's not even about that. The reason why I'm saying get yourself friends like mine is how open we are with each other. Like, we literally our own therapists. We are literally our own psychologists. You understand? Because if I've got a problem with my girl, I go to Spooda. Yo, Yesi, this is happening, he will laugh at me, and he will make a joke according to whatever it is that is happening in my situation, and then he will give me advice.
So it's not mockery that he's laughing at you. He's trying to give you leverage to lighten your load.
Yes, he's lightening my load. We laugh about it.
So you don't take yourself too seriously and hurt.
You don't take things seriously, bro. No matter how serious that thing is. But the moment you take stuff seriously, you putting it straight into your heart.
Let me ask you a question.
And there's a shy imbobo, dog. Right. Imbobo is hurting. It's like a huge hole here that you can't afford.
Let me ask you a question, bro. So then, what happens when you're alone?
You're never alone. You're never alone. That's the thing is, you're never alone, dog. You're in the taxi with somebody or in a cab with somebody. I prefer talking to somebody who
When
does
you
not
sleep-
know me.
When you sleep,
When you sleep, dog. You can hear yourself. When you sleep, you are asleep, you are dead. You're gonna wake up in the morning. The best thing you can do for yourself is talk to somebody who does not know you, who you don't know. Where you get an honest answer.
Honest answer. No. Okay, guys, we're not going to stick on this too long, but I think we've kind of, gotten to the crux of this matter, or this issue, or this topic, which is you need to make sure you're good.
Yeah.
Before you move on, right?
Yeah.
It's not about time per se, right?
Yeah.
It's about, are you good? Are you in a very positive state to add to someone else and not subtract, right?
Dope.
Which is what usually happens. Next, on a lighter note, right? For me, it's like, I don't know if you guys have come across this, but I know I have, right? Where, you're talking to a lady or whatever, you know what I'm saying? The vibes are dope, né? And then you hear like, I need you to meet so-and-so, right? And you meet my mom's or my dad or whoever, né? And this can happen whenever. This could be like after a few conversations. This could be, and because we're talking to women, we're talking to other gents out there, right? It's like, what's your opinion of when is the best time or when is it too soon to be introduced?
to introduce a person.
Anytime, dog. Anytime.
Of course, Jules is gonna say that.
Because me, it's experience, dog. Me, I'm not just talking things out of the air, out of this night. No, bro. I'm telling you things that I've only been dating for. It's been a year now.
Right.
But she already knows the parents. She knows my whole family. I know her.
Or let me ask it a different way.
She knows
let me
where
ask
you
it a
were
different
born.
way. Let me ask you a different way, right? What do you need to have
What
figured
needs
out?
to be in place?
Or in place before you
You need
meet?
to feel the love. Let me tell you, dog. Let me tell you something, dog.
Dude, look at Marly's face.
No, let me tell you what guys don't see, bro. You need to, if you're dating a chick now, your sister, one sister of yours needs to be friends with her. And close.
And if you don't
That's
have
the
a
thing
sister,
Derek is asking,
But that's
like,
what
what
I'm
needs to
asking.
be in place?
What
Because
needs to be in
in that
place?
instance, your sister is kind of the spy for you. She's
Right.
doing the info for you. So, like, what exactly, in other words, what are the alignments that make you want to take it to the next level?
the next
Whether
level.
it's meeting parents or moving in.
If there's something at home, dog, come through.
What do you mean?
If there's something at home, come through. Mama, this is this. Malume, this is this. If they're gonna tell me about traditions, you haven't paid. Uncle, that's your problem. Me.
so
Joe.
basically, in a nutshell, live your life.
Live your life, dog.
Okay, that's your opinion.
Because she
Yeah.
dies tomorrow.
Yeah.
What? What? Dude, this thing of says, dude, if it happens that you see, if there's superstitions obviously in black families that you can't do certain stuff before, but if you don't get an accident or you don't die, some superstitions is like if you don't do it, you'll see an effect in your life. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right.
If nothing's gonna happen, hi.
No, this is my thing, right? And I get you. And I understand where you're coming from, right? But I'm looking at it in a sense of you're really meeting somebody to really, take it somewhere. Like you've already, because you're being intentional about why you're dating someone, right?
I like what you're saying.
And it's like, okay, you have to factor there's tradition, right? There are families that say, listen, we only want to know
The guy you're going to marry.
the guy you're gonna marry, right?
Yeah.
And we're from the young generation where we do things a bit differently, but you have to obviously factor
A lot of-
our age group and what our elders expect. So it's like considering all those factors, right? What do you need to have figured out before you say, you know what, I'm bringing this person in to meet my dad or my mom's, or because now I remember when I was having conversations with my pops, it was like, listen, I don't want to meet everyone. You're dating. When you come to me, you have to have your story. Because I'm gonna take her very serious.
Yeah.
The day you're saying no, like, Dad, I've changed my mind, they'll be like, but you introduced this person to me. Like, what's the, you know what I mean? So it's like, what do you need to have figured out before you take that person to your folks? You know what I'm saying? Because I remember there was a date, I was I was on and I was meeting this girl or whatever, and she's like, listen, before we go on a date, né? Like, my dad is gonna drop me, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, dad.
I mean, I get excited.
No
when it's
pressure.
those things. I love meeting the dad. Because the dad is one of those guys who's easily pissed off. Just like you want to meet the dad.
And then, so she was kind of fine. She was fine. So I was like, you know what, cool, let's do it, right?
Yeah.
She was worth the risk.
But no, that's what I thought. Whoa. That's what I thought. The story gets interesting, right? So then I meet her. And she's not what I thought, right? It's like, oh.
Was it one of those that we've had the conversations about where the image
She cheated on you.
Bro, that was the perfect scenario of that. Where it's like,
what you see online
what
or
you see
whatever
online, right? Or whatever.
is not the same
It's not
as
what you see in person.
Oh, she was not nice. She was
Right?
not hot.
So I meet her, right? And then the Bali's there. Her dad is there. Né? And the dad is like, listen, my daughter should be back home by whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
You're like 10, I'll have her by
and then I
9.
was like, no, don't worry, Bali. She's coming back just now.
Like, I ain't gonna waste my time,
No,
yo.
She will be back. Guaranteed.
Okay.
In one piece.
Yeah, okay.
But,
Yeah, okay.
but what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
right? But what I'm saying is, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's another topic, like you said,
Yeah.
we need to get into. But the point is, for me, it's like that's too soon, fam.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still trying to get to know you. I don't need the pressure of, your dad or your family or whatever. Like, because I don't even know if I'm committed to this yet. You know what I'm saying?
I think that with that question, it's like with your situation, it was instantly right away showing selfishness, somebody else's goals of getting to a specific whatever
Point.
right? Yeah. So I think that as to how soon or how early or whatever, it's really informed as to a person's, let me say, where you are in life. Where do you want to go? Because if it's mainly just about dating and whatever, first thing, you're not even going to think, I need to make this person meet my parents. Or meet whoever is important in my life. It's just dating. And dating is part of the process.
Bro, you're right. That's sometimes how people like lock you in. Right? Where it's like, because I want you to like...
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Because, most, and I like the fact, here's the thing, guys, here's the thing.
People are very dangerous.
I like the fact that lately we're living in an era where women are so empowered. Right? Because they don't really measure their value based on the fact that which man they dating, blah, blah, blah. So that really kind of like informs the dating scene right now. Because like, it's like, they just really gonna focus on what they really want to nourish themselves with before they could even put you in the pressure of saying you need to meet their parents or whatever. Because back in the day, it used to be like, when are you getting married? When are you doing whatever? When are you doing whatever? So it used to be their personal goal to kind of like go, yo, dad, or yo, mom, I met the right person or whatever. But now we live in a different era right now. It's always about like, yo, what is it that you're going to add value into my life first before you could actually we speak about family dynamics. You get what I'm saying? So I think that most of the time, the meeting part is really informed as to where you are mentally. As a person, whether you're a woman or you're a man, right? For me personally, it's like, I would get excited to make you meet my parents if I see what you can do in my life. Before I could say, mom, because I want also my parents to kind of like be proud of who I'm dating. So I really have to figure out the side of saying, what is it that you're doing in my life individually?
That's one way to look at it.
You get what I'm saying?
That's one way to look at it.
You're taking things too seriously.
No, wait. But Tina, we're not
like I said,
we're not 30s, man.
Check.
You're tidying yourself. Tidying yourself, my man. Take every girl home.
That's why
the right one will bring it themselves, bro.
That's why I said.
Because you will think this one is the right one, and you take them home. Tell your brother. What you gonna say?
That's what I said. That's why I said that. It depends. Remember, being in a listen, this nigga wilding us. So that's why I said that being in a specific mind state doesn't necessarily mean that you're oblivious or you don't know what the scene is like. You don't know how girls can be weird or stuff like that. No, I'm just saying that it depends as to after assessing all these wokeness about what happens in the real life, right? Where are you? Because some of us did want to meet women that build us.
Right.
Want to meet women that bring peace into our lives.
All of us.
You get what I'm saying?
All of us.
Yeah, exactly. So
Right.
how are you adding value into my life would really determine whether...
And that assessment is not necessarily a 2-second assessment.
Yes.
It might take you a couple of weeks or a bit of time around that person to then see, the whole conversation of take them to a restaurant, how do they treat the waiter? That's someone they don't meet.
Sharp.
So you now you meet, she meets your parents.
Bro.
You meet a girl this week. She meets your parents tomorrow.
Right.
And then you take her to the restaurant on the weekend and she mistreats the waiter and you see that she's a rotten person on the inside. Now you move on, right? Now, in 6 months, how many people do you think your parents meet in that way?
Yeah.
Then my parents will understand that, you know what, she's still finding the one. If my parents don't understand, then I won't introduce.
Thank you.
Then I'll
Right?
just go and marry at home affairs and then introduce after.
The thing is this. At some point, you're going to need to show some discernment to say, okay, here I am. I've found this person. Let's assess what this person is like.
Yeah.
And then we move from that person, from your approval, not your parents, your own approval.
Yeah.
You then move to say, let me introduce you to my bigger life. Because your parents, it's not because you're introducing her so that she can be their friend. It's so that you can show the expansion in your life. So you don't show a rotten expansion in your life.
Fact,
Is that true?
and to that, let's be honest, gents, right? And maybe it's different for everyone, but for me, right, if I'm introducing a girl to my parent, right, it's because I'm interested in finding out what my parents' opinion is with that woman.
It's a third eye.
It's a third eye, right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of us are hesitant because we think we're grown. It's like, no, I don't need anyone else's opinion. I stay with the girl. Fair enough.
But the heart can be deceiving.
The heart can be deceiving, and there's experience that comes with parents sometimes that you might not see certain things that might be small now.
Yeah.
But they'll be like, might need to look out for that. And it's not about a parent telling you what to do.
Yeah.
But it's getting another opinion, an informed opinion, because your parent cares about you.
And they know you.
And also,
they know you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You see that point of them knowing you?
Yeah.
They know you sometimes more than you know yourself in terms of other people's
bro, all
perception.
the time, G.
So I'll tell you the one biggest thing I always get is feedback from Lils, from my woman, is she'll say, you know what? Now I understand why you were saying maybe we should go and meet your folks and do. There was this tradition that I know that we do, where when you've met her and you've gotten married, she spends some days at your house. It's not necessarily the punitive thing people want to make it out to be like, oh no, she's being taught how to cook and please you. She's living in the world you grew up in.
Yeah.
And so she's understanding the sort of person you are, so that certain things are not such jarring surprises. They'll still be surprises, but there's context as to, oh, this is why she's like this. I'll tell you, that was my personal experience. When I met a family, I realized, oh, okay, so in this family, for example, there's levity with the parents. It's not that you're disrespecting them. At my family, it's not that my parents are aloof, but I have a certain reverence that I have for them. It's just a natural thing of how we're socialized. But now I have to understand her socialization to understand how she relates with older people.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? That's not a loss to me. It wasn't an L to me then for her to have taken the time. And so when she was saying, I wish I'd grown up, I'd gone then to have that tradition, because then I would understand your world. That's where
that's where that comes in.
from.
And that's really what it is. For me, the idea of meeting parents is to get that opinion, and on top of that, Q, like you said, is to see if this person will fit into my family. Because remember, when you're marrying someone, you're not just marrying you. She's marrying everybody who you come with. So it's important to get that context. Hence, you're not just bringing any Jack and Jill into that experience. You see what I'm saying? Because then you're losing the purpose of that whole engagement. So I think it's important to keep it as that. Like, it's dependent on where you are and what you're trying to get out of it. You're not just meeting.
Because niggas make the girls meet their parents so they can get laid.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, man.
They do.
I would never ever do that.
No, niggas do that. You know, niggas do that. And I think
you
at
can't
this
get laid
Yeah.
within the 5th day.
No, you can't.
Then you know it's either marriage or she's killing it somewhere else. Man.
That was another one I was gonna say. So we just gotta go to a few little topics, right, around how soon is too soon.
Yeah.
Quickly, just to get random opinions, right?
Yeah.
So think very properly, gents. Take your time to think about this, because I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. I just want one snippet about these questions, right? How soon is it to get intimate?
Like sex.
Yeah.
If you're horny and she's horny, dog, let's go, dog.
Okay, that's your position.
Let's go, dog.
I don't agree, but I'll leave it as that.
Me, Baba, let's
What's your
see.
time?
bro, if I was at a specific point in my life when I was younger, I would probably just said that.
Right.
But I think it's about how safe you feel.
They will chow your girls with that mentality.
How safe you feel in every possible way, mentally, physically, emotionally. Then it's like, yeah, let's go down.
Right.
I don't care about anybody chowing my girl. Bro. Like, no. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I don't care about anyone chowing any girl.
You lying, dog.
No, let me tell you.
Wait.
Let me tell you.
Your main girl.
If we're looking, no.
Wait.
Lying.
There's nothing like main girl, whatever, bro. Right? If you look at the proportion and the ratio of women to men, like honestly speaking, you can really replace a girl anytime, any day.
Thank you.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I really don't care about that. I really care about, like I said to Derek earlier on, like how safe I feel physically, mentally, emotionally. You get what I'm saying? It can go down there.
Right.
Because you know, bro, like profanity.
Yeah.
Like your dick is directly connected to your mind.
Yeah.
And if your mind is not stimulated to a specific level, you're not gonna give your best performance in the thing. Other than that, you be arrogant and say, I fuck that. And she goes to a friend and she be like, he sucked. You get what I'm saying? There's conversations that women have that they'll never put you into. You get what I'm saying? So you can't be walking around arrogant because you stuff your meat in that.
So it's not about that.
It's always never about that.
Never about that.
You must act like you don't know what you're doing. The thing is, you're too confident. You say, me, I'll show you. You must act like, hey, me, I don't know. I'm saying,
Be humble, Be humble.
Also, that's the only way is up.
These are small things people don't get. These are small things people just be like,
Manage expectations.
Relax.
Just be like, hey, I'm sorry, Joe. I
But
tried.
anyway, bro, to answer your question, really depends.
So
on
we're just
that
moving
from the
quickly.
person.
Okay, it just depends on. All right. So and for me, it's the same thing. Like there's no too soon. It's about, does it feel right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mainly
Comfortable, yeah.
Does it feel comfortable? Right. Super. The other one is talk finances. We'll move on that quickly. How soon is too soon to talk about finances?
Talk about finances. Is she unemployed? How are you speaking with somebody who's unemployed about
That's
finances?
the first criteria. She'd already know that.
If she's unemployed, what are you talking?
Exactly.
No offense. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying.
So what if she's not someone?
smart.
Yeah, she's smart. She's hardworking and she's driven. Just life has shown her.
The hard side.
The hard side.
That's what people don't get, is that
For me, it's a preference thing.
It depends. It depends, bro. Like, it depends. Because people's state of finances change. Sometimes you meet them employed, sometimes you meet them unemployed.
That's
You
it.
get what I'm saying? But like I said, well, for me, I'd personally say that I've been lucky enough for God to favor me to be with women that really know where they're going in life.
Right.
So it's always opened up to speak about
That's the
everything.
most important
You get what I'm
criteria
saying?
there.
But I'm saying, in a general perspective, if you meet a woman that is unemployed, does not have made any financial decisions, why am I speaking to her about any financial
So it's more
decisions?
because if she's making financial decisions.
Yeah, if she was making financial
Because she
decisions,
might be unemployed, but making financial decisions. I mean,
Thank you.
what if she's got a stock?
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, if she's in a position in life where she has been making financial decisions, and you can see that this person has a direction, then we can talk about it.
So essentially, we're not talking about someone who's too young to be making financial decisions, but we're talking about someone who's reached that immaturation level where now she's directing her life to say it must go this way.
Definitely.
For me, it's very simple. Like, do you know how money works? More than anything, do you understand how money works? Right? So it's not about employment or unemployment. Employment makes it easy because then from the jump, I have an understanding a bit that, okay.
I can even see you in action.
Yeah, you understand?
Also, disclaimer: unemployment doesn't necessarily mean that she's employed by a specific person, but she's making
be
a means
working
of
for
income.
herself.
Yeah, she could run a business, whatever, but you understand how money works. You respect money.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, right?
I think it's dope. Whatever, if she can handle money, it's fine. If she can't handle money, teach her. If she doesn't want to learn and she feels entitled and she wants you to go out every time and she wants you to spend instead of investing all the time, get rid of that.
Ooh, bro, that's too much. We don't use. I would prefer to use that.
Although, okay, I hear what he's saying.
What you're saying is cool, though.
I hear what he's saying. I don't think the language I have a problem with, but I hear what he's saying.
The language?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't call women.
Respect our ladies. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. You got the ladies. Sorry, the ladies. But there's some ladies prefer people that way. So me,
unless you disclaim, bro. Unless you consent to it.
But we're not ladies that want me to call them that. Yeah. So that's the lifestyle.
You must be having a great time.
But
I hear what he's saying. He's saying, listen, if it's someone who is willing to grow, and you can see there's potential for growth. In other words, this is someone who's pliable, right? They're willing to be told, okay, look, this is how money works. Then why shut her out if she's willing to learn?
Facts.
Right?
So we're in agreement there. We're in agreement there. Definitely.
Sorry for using that word. But hey, guys, yeah, life.
No, you're learning.
It's cool. It's cool, man.
Let's move on. So the other part is let's talk about what's going on right now as well, quickly before we wrap up. So, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the news, right? That impacts us on a daily basis. Like, and I just want to know. And for me, guys, the petrol situation is just, and it's like they're already talking about increasing it again, and it's like, guys, how soon is too soon for this thing?
How soon is too soon for me?
We just came out of a serious hike, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it too soon to then move into a nuclear war?
But it doesn't. It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. Remember, whatever that is happening right now with the hikes and everything, it's not really dependent on what we can do internally, but it's more of an international perspective, right? It's like you can't necessarily say it's too soon to increase petrol.
No. But let me actually validate what I'm saying, right? So there was a thing that on Trevor Noah's show where he was talking about this, right? And he's like, we get it, okay, that we've got issues with Russia, so obviously petrol and gas in general is gonna have to, like, you know what I'm saying, go up. Now, the thing is, Trevor Noah's argument was, well, we haven't bought the new gas from Russia yet. Because not like we buy it from them on a daily basis.
Fair point.
So if
your extraction cost was the same.
Yeah.
Your logistical cost was the same.
Right.
The dynamic may have changed now, but you're putting a speculative price that you're gonna. And how come you're passing it on to the consumer? When are they ever going to be the ones that shoulder the cost?
But what's the difference? Because if they address it now and address it later, it's still gonna be a slap in the face either way.
But it's not gonna. That's why we said how soon is too soon. It's a question of time.
It can't.
Listen, the war started last week, right? You're telling me that the gas I'm pouring in my car today left the oil fields a week ago.
Yeah. Oh wait, we need to also address. We need to address how also the infrastructure of this country is not really that great. You get what I'm saying? So we can't say because it happened last week and now a week later, you don't even know how the rate of importation that was happening into the country.
Let me make it very simple.
So Trevor's talking about a global rise in oil prices.
Yeah. Let me make it very simple. Marly, let's say you are a middleman, right? You own a tuck shop in Tembisa, for example. You've already bought goods from the wholesaler
at that price,
at the original price, right? Now there's the wholesaler has said, okay, I'm hiking my prices. But you already bought them at whatever price. Now you're saying because that guy has hiked his prices, I'm instantly hiking this.
And let me give you an example of how this worked inversely. During lockdown, what you had was prices being in the negative. So in other words, the oil companies were paying the logistics companies to store oil for them. So oil was going at about -$1 or something crazy like that. Were we getting paid to take the oil? If we're going to take the change instantly in the positive, shouldn't we be benefiting also instantly in the negative?
I love what you're saying, but I'm going to ask you one question. When did capitalism follow a moral compass?
Thank you very much. That's where our question
You get what I'm saying? It doesn't work
so
like that.
No morality in
No, there isn't. Because now, it also kind of like puts us in a staple point where we need to think that capitalism
capitalism
doesn't
the way?
favor a normal citizen. It really doesn't. Because that just kills the whole point. Because it's like, there's a little margin of window that you need to get into before the way, whatever that is happening, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like,
Before
okay,
you
petrol
benefit
is,
from the
you get what I'm saying? Listen. The whole petrol hike is going to go up either way. It's going to happen, right? And it's going to align with where economically things are set. But I'm a capitalist. I need to get a window to gain. Do it earlier so you can get what you need to get.
The people that are making
And when
money,
the time
right?
comes,
Right.
it's like, well, yeah, guys, you know about this. But I already gained what I need to get. So it's like,
I've just got one question for all of you guys.
Yeah.
Did you go and find that oil? Did you start up that company? Did you start all that thing? If you didn't, my man, and they give you the price, take the price, my man. If you didn't, if you don't have a company, my man, that's dealing with petrol, go start your own company, go get your own petrol and charge your own price if you have a problem. That's me. That's me.
That is the
Because
capitalist way
there's
of
nothing
thinking.
you can do about it.
So now, Toons, there's actually something the citizenry can do about it.
All right,
and so we're
let's
saying
look.
let the citizens take their stance. And
Yes.
Now, we don't want insurrection. But you know what? It doesn't hurt to start to... What happened when there was bus segregation? People that invented their bus companies, they knew that, listen, the colored people, the black people are going to sit at the back of the bus. Now, what happens with the bus boycott? They felt the pinch. That's why they were calling in now the cops to come and have the dogs biting people who are walking to work.
No. Bottom line is, right, and why we're even discussing this is to say we're highlighting that capitalist way of thinking. And like you said, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But let's agree that it is what it is. It's not that these guys care about us. It's not that things
Nobody
are
cares
designed.
about it.
Yeah,
So don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself.
Like the system is not designed to favor
So,
you and
Cut
I.
out the alcohol.
Exactly.
Budget
Okay,
and
I
go
want
on
to
the
say
petrol.
this. Yeah. I want to say this as a last, my point on whatever, right? Really related, but not really directly related to this. I think that as South Africans, we need to know who we side with. And it's definitely not Europeans. We're not supposed to side with Europeans and Americans. I know that Russia is part of, Europe, but Russia has proved itself to not like Europeans that much, even though they're there, right? Because either way, all these fights, we are a meat in the fight as Africans. You get what I'm saying? So we need to pretty much be selfish about our choices these days. The two people that we need to side with right now is Russia and China.
True.
And find a way to put something on the table because there's already BRICS, right? So we are in a position to kind of like negotiate specific things.
Plus all the
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, America, nah, dude, I'm not messing with you because we need to think back as to who had the most slaves? Who was making people
I think
to
we can
become-
even bring it closer home.
Yeah.
Who during Codesa was saying, well, the Berlin Wall has fallen, so you're going to need to align with us. Versus who was helping.
You get
was
what
helping
I'm
Russia
saying?
was helping.
So we need to be in a position where we say whatever Russia does, we support it so that they can actually give us the oil. You know what I mean? So it's like
For free.
We need to be in a position where we need to know we've always been the pawn in the game.
Yeah, how I'd say be the player in the game is even take a stance where you say, okay, let the big dogs fight each other.
Yeah.
Because that means that the mineral price is going to increase for them, but we have minerals.
Yeah.
So if platinum is not going to come from Russia, we have platinum, guys.
Yeah.
If you want to buy it,
You get
Russia,
what I'm
we're
saying?
selling it at this preferential price because BRICS. Everybody else, we're selling it at this preferential price because UN, but we benefit.
And also, another last thing, guys, is that we need to understand that Americans have always sold their game too high. We don't know the stance of China and Russia right now. They never sold their game, and the snippets we see are crazy. So who do you want to side with in this crazy thing?
I just
don't want people with nuclear weapons to start fighting.
For me,
No, if they fight, be on the side that is winning. And the side that is winning, I can tell you right now, I'm betting all my money. It's China and Russia.
Let me be very
Straight
clear.
up.
Let me be very clear.
We have Brazil with crime.
To the audience watching, right, and the young people. For me, it's about, even when we look at politics in general, get informed. Right? I think our elders and the older generation have not put us in a good position where we are a major player in the scope of how the world is run, right? And I think it's up to us to get informed, right? And not even choose sides. For me, it's about know what Russia stands for. Do your own research. Don't buy what's being sold in the media in general, right? Do your own research about what Russia is on about with Ukraine. Do your own research about what Europe and the whole of Europe and
Don't
America
forget the
and
papacy.
right. What is actually going on there, right? Don't just buy one narrative, because if you see, all we see is one side of the story. What the media is trying to sell us around Russia and China and they're the enemy and whatever.
The bad guys we want.
So I think that's how I look at that and say let's just figure out, do your own, basically do your own research, be informed, right? And look at how that applies to us in Africa, how that play there applies to Africa, and what we can do to better position ourselves. Because with any crisis, there's an opportunity for someone to make money and to win, right?
Yeah.
So as Africa, how are we leveraging off of what's going on there to put in our favor? Gas prices are going up, all of this, yes. But there's an opportunity that we have to take advantage of.
Yeah.
Then we move on. The other thing is, just bringing it closer home to other news that I thought is worth highlighting, is kind of in the entertainment space as well. Is we all see what was going on with the whole Zola 7 in the pub on social media and people showing him love and all of that, right?
Yeah.
And not knowing the intricacies of what's going on, but I think we have to respect people that go and give a helping hand to somebody who's seen with high esteem in our community. It's we need to take better care of our legends. Period. All right, and this applies to in the entertainment space or even in our own lives, people that have impacted us in a positive way.
Who said Zola's not fine?
Well, it's apparently
Who said what?
Who said Zola's not fine? Zola's okay. Like, the thing is, people... Guys, Zola's fine, guys. We meet Zola on a regular day. Bro, you wouldn't even think. Bro, meet Zola, dog, and he will change your life just by what he talks about.
Did he tell you he's not fine? Dog?
That's the thing. That's what... But that's the thing. Who said he's not fine? Why are people saying, help? What if... I know that Zola's going through an illness. He has an illness.
Yes, that's the thing.
He even said it on the podcast.
Yes.
He's epileptic.
Yeah, he said it. So come on, guys. That guy is fine. He's very smart. I've gotten the time to chill with him. He comes from Soweto, where I also come from.
Right.
So whenever I start seeing things like that happen, I get angry. Because now they're taking down his name and they're showing the media wants to do that. You'll never know who's behind that campaign.
Narrative. Yeah.
You never know, dog. So I just want, whenever those things pull up, it's good for me because his songs get streamed. His face is still there. The kids are gonna be like, who's Zola 7? Then you actually can be like, yo, he's a legend.
That's all that matters. And for me, it's like I said, it's not about who says Zola is fine or is not. For me, it's about let's respect our legends. Let's take care of our legends, period. Because, again, when is it too soon or too late, right? Do we want to respect these people when they're gone? And it's like, oh, this person impacted us in this way. Look at Ricky, the whole thing, right? It's like, you should give people their flowers when they can still smell them. And that's my takeaway. So shout out to people that showed him love in the past week. Right? Let's continue to do that. Let's continue doing that.
Let's show the heroes in our lives.
Yes.
Sometimes our parents, our siblings, our friends.
Right.
Yeah, I like what you say.
Period. Super, gents. This was a great discussion. Thanks to my man for pulling up. Thanks to my boy for being around. Thanks to Q. Thanks to the engineer. We're at a new spot. You know what I'm saying? We've received so much love here.
Shout out to Neil.
Shout out to Neil. The coolest dude I've ever seen.
But bro, where can we find you, Marly?
You find me on IG. Well, my company. Yeah. Well, the part of initiative I'm part of, it's CD Birds at CD Birds.
Check out his work. Amazing.
Okay, CD Birds and
CD Birds, so that's CD Birds Home. Okay. That's my work.
That's it.
The part of what I'm in is where I am.
That's that he's a part of. And I think we need to celebrate people like him that are really doing things in the industry, especially in the design industry. It's not a very... It's a niche industry which we don't get to kind of see, and a lot of young people don't get to understand what it's about. But you know, guys like him are like, you know, opening up doors and doing things that we need to like support. You know what I mean?
Shout out.
Support black business. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? So tune into the next episode. Subscribe, guys. Like, we're gonna be having some other amazing guests in the next episodes going forward. And we appreciate your support. Till next time, peace.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Like. Share. Third Avenue Podcast.
This was
Let's
great.
get it.
This was great.
Lekker.
All right, dude.